Tallinn, Estonia's capital on the Baltic Sea, is the country's cultural hub. It retains its walled, cobblestoned old town, home to cafes and shops, as well as Kiek in the Kook, a 15th century defensive tower. Its Gothic town hall, built in the 13th century, sits in historic Tallinn's main square. St. Nicholas Church is a 13th century landmark. Let's enjoy the visit. Tallinn Old Town is one of the best preserved Hanseatic town centers in the world. A stone's throw away you will find the city's business center, with modern towers and luxurious hotels, trendy neighborhoods and large shopping centers. Tallinn's luring coastal line, dotted with promenades and sandy beaches, offers scenic views of the iconic cityscape. The port of Tallinn is one of the busiest cruise and passenger harbors in Northern Europe, with over 10 million people passing through in 2016. We first headed to the Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, an Orthodox cathedral located in the Upper Old Town. It was built in a typical Russian Revival style between 1894 and 1900, during the period when the country was part of the Russian Empire. The cathedral is Tallinn's largest and grandest Orthodox cupola cathedral. It is dedicated to Saint Alexander Nevsky, who in 1242 won the Battle of the Ice on Lake Peipus in the territorial waters of present-day Estonia. The icons of the iconostasis and icon boxes were painted in St. Petersburg on copper and zinc plates. The Parliament building is situated in the upper part of Tallinn, opposite the cathedral. Following the Estonian Declaration of Independence in 1918, construction of this building started, and it was completed in 1922. Now in view is Estonia's coat of arms. Also in the upper part of the old town is the Lutheran St. Mary's Cathedral, also known as the Dome Church. Originally established by Danes in the 13th century, it is the oldest church in Tallinn and mainland Estonia. It is also the only building in Toompea which survived the 17th century fire. Originally a Roman Catholic cathedral, it became Lutheran in 1561. While at Toompea Hill, we were able to admire the views from two viewing platforms. We are now at the Kotuotsa viewpoint, which shows more of Tallinn's modern areas. The Patkuli viewing area is a wonderful spot to see the beauty of the lower town from above. We loved looking over the red roofs and church spires. St. Olaf's Church is believed to have been built in the 12th century and to have been the center for Old Tallinn's Scandinavian community before Denmark conquered Tallinn in 1219. From up here, the lower part of the old town really does look like a fairy tale village. On our way to enjoy the Maiden Tower Museum and the Danish King's Garden, where according to legend on 15 June 1219, during his crusade to Estonia, Danish King Valdemar II was close to losing the Lindanese battle, but suddenly a flag fell down from the sky. The luck of Valdemar II immediately changed and he won the battle. If the legend of how Dannebrog became the Danish national flag were true, it would make it the world's oldest national flag still in use. I have not been able to find any information on why the monk sculptures were there. The medieval wall has a walkway connecting the two towers. Walking down the steep street, Luhike Jalg, short leg. This street connects Tompia with Lower Old Town. On our way to Town Hall Square, we captured pictures of St. Nicholas Church, a 13th century landmark. Town Hall Square has been a marketplace and the center of this old Hanseatic town since the Middle Ages. It became the center of the lower town at the turn of the 13th and 14th centuries. As a square, it plays an important role today as well. In summer, it is filled with outdoor cafes, plays host to the Old Town Days and other medieval festivals, is a venue for open-air concerts and fairs, and more. In winter, it becomes a magical Christmas market, the centerpiece of which is a towering spruce tree. The tradition of celebrating Christmas festivities here dates back to 1441, when the Brotherhood of the Blackheads are thought to have erected the world's very first Christmas tree. Tallinn Town Hall is the oldest city hall in North Europe and the only preserved one in Gothic style. The story of the building dates back to the 13th century and it was completed in its current form in 1404. The height of the tower is 64 meters. The weather vane Old Thomas on the top of the town hall's tower, that has been there since 1530, has become one of the symbols of Tallinn. Tallinn's coat of arms adorning the facade of the town hall building. This historic merchant's house was first mentioned in 1338. The Reptic, built in 1422, is one of the oldest continuously running pharmacies in Europe. Hard at work at our favorite pastime, shopping. Memorial to Edward Wild, Estonian writer and diplomat. The Barbican, double round towers of Virugate, was part of the defense system of Tallinn's city wall built in the 14th century. A couple of centuries later, it already had 8 gates that consisted of several towers, and curtain walls connecting them. As the entrances to the old town were widened, several gates were demolished. The Viru Gate had to pay its dues to a horse-drawn tram route that connected the old market with Kadriog. However, the corner towers were preserved. Viru Street, with its many shops and restaurants, has become one of the busiest pedestrian streets in the old town. A stone's throw away from the old town, you will find the city's business center with modern towers and luxurious hotels, trendy neighborhoods and large shopping centers. Then it was back to the port of Tallinn that welcomes over 300 cruise calls per season, and to the Costa Pacifica to wave goodbye to enchanting Tallinn.